Hi, this is Vahid, the IELTS expert at Forbest Academy. If you're planning to take the IELTS test, you definitely need to know topic-related vocabulary words. For instance, in the case of biology, you're supposed to know the difference between amphibians and mammals. Or when it comes to geography, it is essential to know the meaning of words such as torrential rain, monsoon, drought, and terrain. Learning these words is relatively easy as there are lots of useful word lists, videos, and picture dictionaries that can help you memorize them. However, the IELTS also expects you to know some general words and expressions that are not topic-specific. These words often cause a great deal of confusion for the candidates as their meanings depend on the context they appear in. So, not knowing them might lead to getting the answers wrong in the listening section and the reading sections. In fact, that's why IELTS loves these words so much. In today's video, I'll go over some of these problematic words that frequently appear on the IELTS. These words have been carefully selected based on the number of times they have appeared on the listening section and reading sections of available test samples, as well as the percentage of students who have had difficulty understanding them. So let's get started. The first word is account. Account as a noun means a description or a report. This word is frequently used in matching information questions, and it baffles candidates as most of them tend to immediately think of bank accounts or email accounts. Let's see two examples from past IELTS reading tests. The first one is from Cambridge IELTS 9, Test 2, Reading Passage 1. The question asks us to identify the paragraph which contains information on an account of a national policy initiative. The second example is from Cambridge IELTS 10, Test 4, Reading Passage 2. Here, we are required to mark the paragraph that provides an account of how someone overcame a sad experience. In both cases, IELTS expects us to know the meaning of the word account, which is central to our understanding of the question. The word account is also used in the expression on account of. Games are often cancelled on account of rain. On account of introduces the reason, and it is synonymous with because of, due to, and owing to. On no account is another problematic expression with the word account. If something must on no account be done, it must not be done at any time or for any reason. On no account can be used interchangeably with under no circumstances or in no way. Employees must on no account make personal phone calls from the office. Then, how about the use of the noun account in expressions such as take into account or take account of? These are probably the easiest expressions with the word account. To take a factor into account means to consider it or take it into consideration. Let's check the following examples. These figures do not take account of changes in the rate of inflation. Scientists take into account these gravitational effects. In both cases, these expressions mean consider. Next up is account for. The expression account for is also popular with IELTS test designers as it has a number of meanings. The first meaning is to form or constitute. African Americans, for instance, account for 12% of the US population. If you're planning to take the academic IELTS, you'll find this expression useful when writing Task 1 essays that need you to describe percentages. Let's examine the second meaning of account for in the following sentences. Pressure at work may account for such mental disorders. Here, pressure at work is the reason for the problems discussed. Therefore, to account for means to explain, and it introduces the cause. Another example is the differences in achievement between the pupils are accounted for by differences in age. In this sentence, variations in achievement are explained by variations in age. And finally, the adjective form of the word account. Accountable is the adjective for the word account and is commonly used in the expression hold somebody accountable. The word accountable means responsible. When people are held accountable, they are asked to explain why they did or did not do something. Let's see this word in context. The CEO is ultimately accountable to the board of directors. In this example, the CEO is completely responsible for what he or she does and must be able to give a satisfactory reason for it. The verb provide is one of the words that most of us learn in the first few months of our learning experience. But what the IELTS needs us to know is the expressions provided that and providing that, which express a condition. Provided that and providing that are similar in meaning to if. Let's have a look at the following sentence. You can drive a car provided that you have a valid license. Here, a valid license is the necessary condition for driving a car. It should be noted that if you omit that, the meaning stays the same. You can drive a car provided you have a valid license. Amount used as a noun means volume or quantity, but the phrasal verb amount to shows something has the same effect or turns into something else. This is one phrasal verb that I recommend you use in your essays as well. Let's have a look at this example. Copying another person's ideas amounts to plagiarism. In this sentence, copying someone else's ideas is seen equal to plagiarism. Let's have a look at the second example. His actions amounted to a breach of contract. Here, the actions discussed correspond to or are equal to a breach of contract. The word object as a noun means a material thing such as a table or a piece of gold, but when it is used as a verb, it is pronounced object, with stress falling on the second syllable. Object means to express disagreement with. No one objected when I said it was time to go home. One of the trickiest words associated with object is objective. If objective is used as a noun, it shows something that you plan to do or achieve. Our main objective is to lose weight. However, when objective is used as an adjective, it has a distinctively different meaning, as it describes that which is based on real facts and not influenced by personal beliefs or feelings. Scientists need to be objective when doing research. Synonyms for objective would be impartial and unbiased. The antonym of this word is subjective, which describes beliefs or ideas that are based on feelings and personal views rather than facts. Objective and subjective are two of the most popular words with IELTS test designers. The next word is subject. The word subject is one of the simplest yet trickiest words on the IELTS test. As a noun, the most commonly known meanings are an idea, such as the subject of a discussion, or a course, such as physics or math. However, in academic contexts, a subject means a participant in a study, or an animal or a person in a medical or scientific test. The subjects were 25 male diabetic patients. Each subject was tested 2 times during each session. In both sentences, the word subject refers to a case or a participant. When used as a verb, this word is pronounced subject, with stress falling on the second syllable. As a verb, subject means to make someone experience something unpleasant. The results subjected him to reproach. Students hate being subjected to boring lectures. As an adjective, subject means likely to be affected by a condition. These patients are subject to attacks of depression. Here, depression is what affects the patients. Subject as an adjective means dependent on or conditional to. The pay rise is subject to approval by management. All the holidays on offer are subject to availability. In its most common use, maintain means keep in good condition or sustain, but it is also used to show people's views, as it means to express or say a belief in a strong way. You need to know the meaning of this word in order to identify writers' arguments and views in reading passages. Let's have a look at this example. He maintained that the country was going downhill. Here the word maintain means to state. Scholars maintain that the translation was lost hundreds of years ago. In this sentence, the word maintain is synonymous with the words say or contend. The most common meaning of the word hold is to keep, but it can also be used to express a belief or an opinion, as hold means to believe or contend. Let's have a look at the following 2 examples. Murphy's Law holds that if anything can go wrong, it probably will. They hold that he wanted to dominate Europe. In both of these sentences, the word hold can be replaced by content. As you probably know, a host is someone who has guests. However, host also means a large number of or a multitude of. The hotel offers a host of leisure activities. A host of show business celebrities have pledged their support. In both of these sentences, the expression a host of means many. The verb exhaust has two different meanings. One is to tire out, from which we can get the adjective exhausted, meaning tired. The second meaning of exhaust is to use up a resource completely. The expedition was forced to turn back when it exhausted its food supply. We are in danger of exhausting the world's oil supply. In these two sentences, the word exhaust means to use up. The adjective exhaustive means thorough or comprehensive. If we're talking about an exhaustive list, we mean a detailed and complete one. The adjective invaluable is frequently used in IELTS reading passages. The original meaning of invaluable is valuable beyond estimation. Invaluable describes something so precious that one cannot assign a price to. This is the opposite of valueless. I was able to gain invaluable experience over that year. In this sentence, invaluable means of great value or priceless. Invaluable can be used to talk about insights, advice, experience, or information, and it is synonymous with the word valuable. The most commonly known meanings of the word reflect are: number 1, to send back. For instance, a mirror is an object that reflects or sends back light. And number 2, to show. If you paint a picture, it reflects or shows your artistic vision. However, if you look this word up, you'll see the second sense of this word means to think deeply. The manager demanded time to reflect. Reflect in this sense is followed by upon or on. Self-reflection, meaning thinking about or meditating upon one's actions and behavior, is a popular term that frequently shows up in IELTS reading passages related to psychology and education. The phrase "in that" means because, so it is totally different from phrases such as "in which" or "in this." "In that" is used to explain a statement. Liquids differ from solids in that they don't have a definite shape. I was fortunate in that I had friends. In both of these sentences, the phrase "in that" highlights the reason, and it can be replaced by "since" or "because." The word affect is a verb which means to produce an effect or influence. The music affected him. Affect, on the other hand, is a noun meaning emotion or feeling. When he saw the picture, his affect was violent. The adjective relating to affect is affective. A number of cognitive and affective symptoms have been identified. He suffered from SAD, seasonal affective disorder. This adjective is used in texts relating to psychology and education. Let's have a look at the following example. The cognitive and affective aspects of learning should be considered. While affective aspects of learning deal with the emotional factors such as stress and anxiety, the cognitive aspects are concerned with intellectual activities such as memorization and reasoning. The word elaborate means to give more details or new information about something. The managers elaborated on their new project. Elaborate, on the other hand, used as an adjective, is pronounced differently, and it means detailed and ornamented. They lived in an elaborate mansion. He is known for his elaborate costumes. John concocted an elaborate excuse for being late. In all these sentences, elaborate is used as an adjective. The noun content refers to what is included in a book, a movie, etc. However, when pronounced as content With stress on the second syllable, its meaning dramatically changes. Content is an adjective meaning satisfied or pleased. Let's see this word in context. I was content with my achievement. He is content living on his own. The word contented, also an adjective, and content can be used interchangeably. Contentment, meaning satisfaction, is the noun form of the word content. The word score immediately reminds us of marks and grades or the world of sports. However, when referring to quantities, score means 20, as in the term fourscore, meaning 80. The phrase "a scores of" means a large number of or a multitude of. Scores of soldiers boarded the plane. Here, scores of indicates the large number of soldiers. If you tend to overuse words such as many, I suggest you use scores of in your essays as a high-value alternative phrase. For instance, instead of saying the government is facing many problems, you can say the government is facing scores of problems. Means. The word means has two distinct meanings. Number one is method or tool. A means of doing something is a method, instrument, or process which can be used to do it. In this sense, means could be both singular and plural. Let's consider this in context. The end justifies the means. This sentence emphasizes the outcome, the end, rather than the means or method of achieving it. We often hear the expression "a means of" as in the sentence below. The telephone is a means of communication. A means of is synonymous with a way of or an instrument of. Our next phrase is "by means of." The phrase "by means of" indicates something is done by way or through a method, or with the aid of an instrument. The blocks are raised by means of pulleys. Here, pulleys are used to lift the blocks. By no means is the third phrase containing the word means. The expression "by no means" is used as a way of emphasizing a negative statement, and it means certainly not or in no way. In the following sentence, the list is by no means exhaustive. It is mentioned that the list is not complete at all. The second meaning of the word means, however, is totally different, as it is synonymous with money, wealth, or resources. John's father is a man of means. From this sentence, we understand John's father is a rich man. I didn't have the means to do the project. Likewise, the means meaning money is mentioned as what is essential to the completion of the project. Our next high-value word is the verb contend. The first meaning of contend is to compete or strive for, from which we get the noun contender, meaning a contestant or a participant in a competition. Militant groups are contending for control of the country. In this context, the verb contend can be replaced by struggle. The second meaning of the verb contend is to say or state. We often come across this usage of the word contend in academic reading passages that contain detailed logical arguments. Let's have a look at the following example. Critics of the school system contend that not enough emphasis is placed on creativity. Here, the word contend is synonymous with maintain or assert. The noun contention means assertion or argument. His contention is that the new method is far from effective. So that brings us to the end of this video. Thank you for watching this, and please stay tuned for the next word set.